While the administration of the courts has perhaps never been without its critics, the method of recruitment followed by the Chief Justice appears to be without parallel. The learned judges of the High Court have, in a considered judgment, allowed the writ petitions and quashed all these appointments. They have expressed the view that the appointments made by the Chief Justice were very serious violation of statutory law and constitutional protection of equality and opportunity guaranteed to the candidates under Articles 14 and 16 within bracket 1. From the foregoing narration of events and by the rules of recruitment, it seems to us that there cannot be two opinions on the conclusion reached by learned judges. The methodology adopted by the Chief Justice was manifestly wrong, and it was doubtless deviation from the course of law, which the High Court has to protect and preserve. The judiciary is the custodian of constitutional principles which are essential to the maintenance of the rule of law. It is the vehicle for the protection of a set of values which are integral part of our social and political philosophy. Judges are the most visible actors in the administration of justice. Their case decisions are the most publicly visible outcome. But the administration of justice is just not deciding disputed cases. It involves great deal more than that. Any realistic analysis of the administration of justice in the courts must also take account of the totality of the judge's behavior and their administrative roles. They may appear to be only minor aspects of the administration of justice, but collectively they are not trivial. They constitute, in our opinion, a substantial part of the mosaic which represents the ordinary man's perception of what the courts are and how the judges go about their work. The Chief Justice is the prima force in the High Court. Article 229 of the Constitution provides that appointment of officers and servants of the High Court shall be made by the Chief Justice or such other judge or officer of the court as may be directed by the Chief Justice. The object of this article was to secure the independence of the High Court, which cannot be regarded as fully secured unless the authority to appoint supporting staff and complete control over them is vested in the Chief Justice. There can be no disagreement on this matter. There is imperative need for total and absolute administrative independence of the High Court. But the Chief Justice or any other administrative judge is not an absolute ruler, nor he is a freewheeler. He must operate in the clean world of law, not in the neighborhood or sordid atmosphere. He has a duty to ensure that in carrying out the administrative functions, he is actuated by some principles and values as those of the court he is serving. He cannot depart from and indeed must remain committed to the constitutional ethos and traditions of his calling. We need hardly say that those who are expected to oversee the conduct of others must necessarily maintain a higher standards of ethical and intellectual rectitude. The public expectation do not seem to be less exacting. Stop.